Hey YouTube, Shukwin Shinobi here with a review of the Tokumei Sentai Go-Busters Buster Machine GT-02 Gorilla and RH-03 Rabbit set. So yeah, this is the box set of the two together. It was easier for me to pick this one up just because it was one click to the add to cart button instead of two, and I was like, oh, Zom Buster Machines, and I was panicking, and I just decided to get this one. So anyway, text down here shows that it comes with two Buddyroids. Shows the 4 modes between the two models, shows the formation of Go-BusterOh, all the stuff that they can do back here, and the individual models back there. So there's technically 6 modes between them, but the Buster Vehicle and Buster Machine modes really aren't too different from one another. So let's go ahead and bring them out and take a look. Alright, so here they are in the Buster Vehicle modes. Take a quick look at the Buddyroids. Here's Gorisaki Banana. A fair amount of detail in there. I have to give him props for that. There's the giant gorilla head sticking out of his back, but hey, what can you do? He does fold all the way up, even though all of the transformations involve him in a slightly hunched over sitting position. So, take that as you will. And then for Usada Lettuce, pretty weird looking, I think. Missing a lot of the colors, but doesn't move at all, just has the maneuverable little antennae, little rabbit ears, and then the giant rabbit head sticking out of the back. So pretty much have to ignore those. So let's move the helicopter out of the way. Take a look at the Buster Vehicle mode for GT-02. So here it is. It's got the cheetah, the gorilla, and the rabbit right here on the side. I think that's a really awesome looking logo. But anyway, there really isn't too much to do because he doesn't do anything except roll. But he does have a little helicopter pad up there, and the RH-03 can plop itself right on top. So it can ride. It is pretty stable. Basically, these two back wheels sit in these little holes right here. I don't know whether that was actually intentional or not, but it fits pretty well. So I'm going to have to give it props for that. You can sit it back a little bit further too if you really want to, but I find that to be a little less stable. But it can ride on top of there, whether it's official or not, who knows. But anyway, so pretty cool. Now to get this guy into the Buster Machine, I kept calling it Buster Machine, didn't I? This is the Buster Vehicle mode. The Buster Machine mode involves removing that, taking Gorisaki, shoving him in there. There'll be these two little slots. You just plug him in right in there. There's no click or anything. It's held in there mostly by friction. And there we go. So here's the Buster Machine mode with the Buddyroid attached. Same thing. It rolls. That's all it does. So to get to the Buster Animal mode, fold these up right up here. Take apart this entire thing. Take this out. Here's where things get a little complicated because I can't ever remember how this goes. Like this, I believe. I'll figure it out soon. Split all of these pieces apart. Where are they? There they are. Fold these out. These will become the hands. If that wasn't glaringly obvious. So here are the two sets of hands. Obviously, as you can tell right here, these are going to be the feet. And these are going to go ahead and peg together. This piece right here goes right in there. There we go. So just like that. Same thing on the other side. You might notice those Gokaiger-esque arrows. Those will become purposeful soon. And this part up here will sit right in this allotted space up here. Right there. It's a little bit easier to do when you just connect the two first. The instructions show you putting everything together and then placing the two halves together, but I find it just a tinge easier to get this piece plugged in when you already have them moderately connected to one another. So just like that, you can kind of see where this is going. This will clip into these two pegs right here. So just wedge him in there, and ta-da. Pop that open. Here we have the gorilla. No articulation outside of these being able to move. They sag a little bit. But yeah, that's all there is to the gorilla mode. You can fold these. No, you can't fold those back. Never mind, I lied. I figured there was a reason why those were still out. But yeah, pretty cool. I like him. He's very gorilla-y. So we'll move him over here. And now we will look at RH-03. So here's the Buster Vehicle mode. It spins up here. That's all it does too. There are wheels back here and right here, so it can roll around as well and spin its little rotors. So pretty cool. So to get to the Buster, there's the Go-Buster logo right here too. That's the only pretty detailed to point out. To get to the Buster machine mode, fold up the Buster Vehicle's little hand things right here. I think it was trying to mimic a cockpit, except it really wasn't working too well. Fold the ears back of the rabbit, and then just kind of push him in there. And there we have the Buster machine mode. Yay! So it still spins. That's all it still does, except now it looks like a rabbit face. So to get to the Buster animal mode, fold these down, take this entire piece off, and this is going to move up a notch, just like that. Take the helmet for Go-BusterOh off, take the wings off, fold them back. These are now going to go on the head of the rabbit, just like that. Fold the ears back. So now they're really long, cool ears. This entire section will fold forward here, and then you have to split apart the tail fin to become feet. And then lastly, we will form a tail by placing the Go-BusterOh helmet right on there. So now here we have the GT-03 rabbit in the Buster Animal Machine mode. Buster Animal Machine, wow, way to go. The Buster Animal mode. Really, really cool. I just like the way this looks because it's a killer bunny. It's like the bunny that attacked Osugi Sensei. That's always fun. But I just like the concept of having a bunny mecha because I don't believe we've had one. And bunnies are cool. They can hop. Not really, but I just like the way it looks. I think it's really cool. So now that we have these two guys, and we also have this guy, that's Go-Buster Ace if you can't tell by the feet, we can now form Go-BusterOh! Yay! So, this is going to take a lot of dismantling. Go-Buster Ace, all you have to do is, I'm going to bring the camera up just for simplicity's sake, open up the visor, bring back the helmet down, take off the sword, just set that aside, and fold the arms backwards so the Go-Buster logo and that little cube are facing outward and the tires are on top. These will sit back here just like this. I did find a better way to do it than this that I'll show off later on in the transformation. So that's all for Go-Buster Ace. For Gorilla, you want to take him apart completely. So take these two halves, split them apart. This piece is going to hang down like this. This piece is going to attach backwards, or not backwards, upside down, like this, so that the little grill part right here, the fender, is hanging upward. These will fold downward. And here is this piece. Fold the fist in. Like I mentioned these arrows before, these are going to face each other and plug right in here. There is a hole right there for the peg. So those will fit right in there. Push them together until you hear a nice sturdy click. This piece will fold in, and here's one foot. So do the same thing over here until you hear the secure click, fold in, and you have the other foot. So that's all for Gorilla. For Rabbit, you're going to want to remove this front section, pop off the ears, keep the ears contracted, there we go, like this, and plug those back in here. It'll spin freely for a bit. Take off these two jet booster things, and while we're at it, just go ahead and attach them to the sword, just like so. So now the sword has some cool rockets attached to it. Split this into two pieces, and the helmet will fall off. Just set it aside. One thing I do like is that when this button isn't pressed in, the rotors are on a lock. It's not securely locked because you can still fling it around, but as you can see here, when I press it down, it falls. So I thought that was pretty cool that it had a lock into it. Fold these back and around. Back and around. Fold out the hands, so those will be Go-BusterOh's hands, just like that. Take off the rabbit head, fold the ears back like this, and just set that aside for now. And then with this piece, you want to bring it out a little bit like that, so it's flared out. And that is all for the rabbit. So now we just have to play connect the dots with Go-Buster Ace. So here is Ace. We'll start with the feet, since that makes sense. What you're going to do is close up these on Go-Buster Ace, and this entire section just slides right into the foot. Take some finicking, just like that. This lock right here will latch onto the opening right here on Go-Buster Ace. So that is really nice and secure. It does take a little bit of force to get out, so no worries about that. So once again, just slide the piece in, and that was a lot easier than the other one. So here we have the feet. Go up even further. This piece is going to plug into where the cheetah head is, so pop that out. This one is going to go right there in this little clip. And then Rabbit is going to go on the other side. Right there. Just like that. So now we're going to take this gorilla piece and plug that in right there. It will snap in place there. Next we take this right leg, or right arm rather. This is the left arm, I'm wrong twice. And that will plug in right in this socket. There's a socket right there that you can see. That'll plug in right there. And that will fall down. Yeah, just keep the gorilla part off for now. It fits in there tightly, but a lot of movement can kind of make it pop out. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially since it takes so much force to plug in these. And that one just went right in. So anyway, we got that going on. For the sword, what you're going to want to do is just kind of bring it around and up. I find that to be the easiest way to plug it in. And so there we have that. Back here, we're going to want to plug this tab right back here to Go-Buster Ace. That will plug in right here. The thing I was talking about earlier with the arms, I found it easier to just swing the arms around, and they will sit up against the back of the Buddyroids. And I just find that to look a lot nicer than with them hanging out of the back like the instructions tell you to do. So I would advise doing that just for looks. I'll plug the gorilla piece back in. Like I said, it is a little bit finicky and it does like to pop out sometimes. But yeah, it's cool. And then lastly, we take the helmet and plug that right in up there. And here we have Go-BusterOh. So I really, really like Go-BusterOh. As far as features, it really just has the shoulder articulation. That's all it's got. One thing I do want to note is that if you unplug that portion right here of the rabbit, You do get some sideways shoulder articulation based upon the transformation. So you do have that movement, but that's the only other real source of movement you got going on. The legs are kind of goofy. I will give you that. The legs, my only source of bothering is right here, where the little parts are still sticking out. I still think that looks really, really goofy. But there really isn't too much they could have done besides have a panel swing out from here to cover that area. That's really the only thing that they could have done. The middle section here, where it kind of looks like some sort of weird speaker system, there's two things you can do. The instructions have you bringing this all the way back, but I think that looks really weird. So I just kind of leave it front like this, since it's supposed to be sort of like some sort of little swingy plate thing. If it bothers you a lot, these do swing back, so you can swing all three of those backwards, and it creates sort of some weird belly system on there, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave them dangling straight out, because I think that looks the best. I do like the little rabbit ears over here. It creates a shield of some sort, and it's an energy shield, and then the sword right there. The sword looks kind of dinky with Go-BusterOh because it's so tiny, but oh well, what are you going to do? And then finally, up here, I do love the way the face looks. You can't really see Go-Buster Ace's eyes all that well, but I just love the way that the helmet looks, with the cheetah, the rabbit, and the gorilla all kind of combined to make one helmet. I think that's really, really cool looking. And it's rare that the helmet will incorporate all pieces of the mecha, and I think that's pretty neat. The rabbit ears are a little bit goofy, but I like it. Maybe I'm just easy to please. So, here is the cheetah head back there. Gorilla is right there. Rabbit is right there. I think I would have liked it better with cheetah in the middle, but the toy just doesn't have that sort of engineering, so they had to go with this. And then from the back, we've got basically a mess. I think it looks a lot better with the arms positioned like that. It's a lot less finicky in the back here, but it still kind of looks bad, so just kind of look at it from the front. But overall, I really, really like the way it looks. Now watch as Go-BusterOh spins around! Yay! So, anyway, you can adore him from this angle. Okay, personally, I love it. I know it has a lot of haters, but I just really like the way it balances everything out in a pretty interesting manner. And it really does look like some sort of weird conglomerate of three different robots as opposed to some sort of incredibly unified force. I don't want to break him out to show, but he is the same height as Go-Kaio. So for those that were concerned about Go-Buster Ace's really tininess, once you stack all this up, it does become the height of Go-Kaio, and Go-Kaio is one of the largest base mechas that we've gotten recently. So he is quite a bit tall. Yeah, I really like it. I definitely recommend it to fans of the show. If you're iffy on the design, I still recommend picking this setup because Gorilla and Rabbit on their own are still really fun toys. They've got 3 modes, technically only 2 modes because I don't really count the Buster vehicle and Buster machine as different modes. But that aside, I think they are really fun standalone toys. Go-Buster Ace I still recommend. I still love him on his own too. So all 3 of these are really fun toys on their own, and personally I think together they're a really fun toys still because I really dig the way this looks. Reminds me of like a mix of Geki Ranger and Go-Andra, and I love it because I love both of those shows. So anyway, I definitely recommend this set. You can get it for about a little under 5,000 yen on AmiAmi. I think they're on back order right now, or at least at the time of this recording. They pop up on Mandarake from time to time. I'm sure you can get them some other retailers as well. CS Toys, HLJ, Big Bad Toy Store, etc., etc. So, happy hunting. I definitely recommend them. I don't see a particular reason to skip them unless you just don't like robots, which is a shame because robots are cool. But, yeah. So anyway, check out ShugenShinobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls. And of course, check out RidersRangersandRebels.com, bringing you the latest Toku news in the craziest way possible. So take care. Have a great one. Bye.